Okay.
All right, Beverly, thank you so much for joining me and volunteering to do this. So I'll just talk to you about the process. Have you ever had coaching before? I can't remember if you said you did.
No, I haven't, no.
All right. Well, coaching really, it's a conversation, you know. It's no more than a transformative conversation. It's about you. This hour is about exploring different parts of where you want to take your life. So it's a bit like taking you up on an elevator that allows you to see out of a window from different floors, so different views, different perspectives. And the way that I work is slightly different. So this is something called the Soul Awakening Method, and it combines spiritual coaching, a bit of energy work into one package. I'm passionate about healing and energy, and I'm very passionate about the transformative effects, the psychological shifts that we need to make. So it's like working two levels, energy and mental as well. The two work hand in hand. What I'm going to do, if it's all right with you, is I'm just going to tune into your energy. We work with the chakra system here, and what this system does, it's called the soul transformation technique. I use a pendulum to ask the yes and no to see where we need to work. And what this will show me is the main emotion that wants to be known. And this emotion could be keeping you in a loop. It could just be wanting to say, hey, listen, she's not dealt with me.
Mm-hmm.
And emotions are energy in motion. And we might not consciously relate to it or even know why it's there, but it's there. It's in our field. And there's a great body of work from, I knew I would forget the name. The book is called The Molecules of Emotion. Candice Pert. She was a numerologist, and she discovered that all emotions release obviously a chemical. We have them all over our body, but they don't go away if we don't give them an avenue, a release. So every thought creates a chemical, and if we suppress it, it stays in our body and it finds somewhere to live, and it's one of the reasons why we get ill health. Mm-hmm. So all I'm looking for is that energy that we can work with, and I help you release it with tapping. I don't know if you know EFT at all.
Yeah,
and meditation. These are things that I'll send you after the session.
Okay.
During the session, it's more talking. So if you're okay, I'll just take a minute just to tune into you and see what's going on. So I don't know if you can see, but I use this. And first of all, I ask if it's okay to work with your energy. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so sure, I'm just going to check this. 1 second. Says you're in a healing phase.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get a bit more information about it. A healing phase of self-sabotage. Does that resonate with you at all? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me see what area of your life is being affected. So. Self-worth, values, and possessions. Any one of them. All right. I'm not going to check your timeline, but I'm going to find out what chakra what's the dominant chakra to work with today. Okay, so the throat. Go find the emotion. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so it's coming up with humiliated for being oneself. Does that resonate with you?
It does very much so, yes. Yeah, I think that is definitely where I'm at the moment, yeah.
Wow, okay, that's really powerful. It's in the throat.
Yes.
And I'll just explain for everybody else's benefit. But the throat chakra is about communication. It's our authentic self. Are we waking up, speaking, communicating, saying the words that are authentic to our soul, really? And if that gets suppressed, which it can do especially through humiliation, then somebody would hold back on what they have to say, and it can cause issues throughout their life of always being overlooked, always standing back, scared to speak up for themselves, scared to stand out and be counted, because they might have a belief that they need to stay small. Does that resonate with you? Yeah.
Very much.
All right, great. Right, so that's good to know. So how can we make this session, this conversation that we're about to have, really, really powerful for you? Where would you like to work? What is going on that feels alive and active for you now?
It is that speaking out so that I can take myself and grow myself and my business in the way that I want to, without fearing people judging me or making me feel as if you shouldn't be doing this, you're not good enough to do this. I have had an experience recently with somebody in business that is much further down the line in business, and they've sort of knocked my confidence by the things that they've sort of done backhandedly. Okay. So it sort of made me sort of like go, oof, I'm not really good enough to take myself forward and be big, and I've just sort of then sunk back in. And I know that I want to be able to move forward, because I've got so much to offer, and I'm letting them keep me down. And again, I know my throat chakra I need to be able to just share what I want to share, and not feel that I'm being judged in any way, and not care really, because they've got their own issues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So tell me about the passion that you've got. Like, what is it that you want to share with the world?
I work I'm a holistic therapist. I do Reiki, meditation, but I've also got what I call, it's not a product, but it's a I don't want to promote my business, obviously, but it's a water bottle, and it has crystal.
Let's promote your business, okay? Okay. So now is your time to speak up about you. So tell me, what is it you do? I'm genuinely interested.
Okay, so it's a water bottle. It's called Pure Crystals water bottle.
Yeah,
I've got one. So it's a water bottle with crystals inside, and the healing crystals are all Reiki energized, and I then provide a little guided meditation for people to connect with that crystal that they've chosen to help to support them in a way that they need. So all my sort of holistic therapies have now come into the water bottle to help people, well, to support people in any way which they want to be supported or need to be supported. So, you know, I've come up with this, obviously water bottles and crystal water bottles I'm not the inventor of, but mine is slightly different. And the fact that I like to share a little guided meditation, if it resonates with them, is very different. So I want to just be able to speak my passion about the bottle, about the crystals, about what it can offer. But I'm fearful that this person is watching. She's already copied some of the things that I'm doing. And then I'm like, well, I don't want her to see what I'm doing now. So that way I'm now stopping the whole world from seeing what I'm doing, because I don't want to be copied or judged by this person. And I'm letting this person control quite a bit of my life at the moment.
What's the worst one, being copied or being judged?
Being judged, really.
Yeah, okay. If that had roots, being judged, where would it stem back to? What memory comes to mind? Might help to close your eyes, it's totally up to you. Just take your mind, just imagine it had roots. It's like a tree. Just let that memory, just follow it right back through your timeline. And just let it stop at the place. It might be something you've forgotten. Or maybe it's something you're totally aware of. Just allow your subconscious to just send that back, right up the branches of your tree, right up your roots to your conscious mind, so we can deal with it in the moment. And just recall that first ever memory. Where does it go back to? It may not even have happened to you directly. It may have been happening around you or to someone else.
I think in sort of being judged and speaking what I want to say, and when I was younger, parents would argue, and I would want to say, you know, stop. But I didn't feel that I could, so maybe because I didn't want to take sides. So that way, if I had spoken out, maybe would have been judged too by being favourable to one or the other. That's just where, because I know that for me is a big part of things that have happened in the past, where I feel sometimes also that my actions caused frictions as well. So does that link into being judged, maybe?
Were your parents arguing over you, or you?
Yeah, probably, because I was a sensitive one. I'm the middle child. I was a sensitive one, and maybe if, I don't know, they were having a party or something like that, I would go and turn the music down, and and then I'd probably get shouted at by one, and then the other parent would then shout at that parent because they shouted at me. So maybe I think when when I was going back then, that's what just kept coming up for me. So does that fit into that? Does that make sense?
It does to me. What about to you?
I think it does. It does. And as I was filling all the forms in and everything, that's what kept coming up a lot. And I hadn't really realised that it was that big of a thing for me until I started to look back like that.
What belief and emotion do you think would have stemmed from those thoughts? What did you internalize about yourself?
Well, that I was just causing trouble. I caused friction there. And then I was in the way a little bit, and I should have just kept myself out of the situation and shouldn't have.
Let me just go back to that belief that we found, that emotion. Yeah, humiliated for being oneself. Yeah. Okay. So that all ties in, doesn't it? That all starts to make sense. From an early experience, a belief was formed. Then we have to support that belief, and that belief supports that belief basically sets on a filter system in the brain that looks to make its beliefs true. Because we can only hold a belief if we believe it to be true.
Yes.
And we have to have evidence that something is true. So then in our environment, we look for it.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
So in our experiences, we look for it. So put 5 people through the same experience, each one would have a different interpretation on it based on their belief system, because we're all different.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So that's really powerful. So the first step is awareness. Now, this is no easy task, stepping out of an old belief and creating a new life and a new belief system. It's not easy. I'll tell you that for nothing. It is not easy. It takes hard work, persistence, dedication, and a lot of soul searching. And you have to make your goal, your purpose, your why stronger than the old belief.
Yeah.
Because our brain has become so hardwired on this belief, because it's been there for that many years doing its thing. It's like it's a record, and basically it's neuroscience. You connect the dots in your brain, you make a pathway, and it just goes vit, 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 and belief, do, be that belief. To change that, we have to overwrite that, and we have to practice this new belief. And then we'll go into a situation where it's in your face, like this situation you've got going on now. It's in your face. So what do? Well, without the awareness, you can do nothing except stay on that loop. With the awareness, you can take a deep breath and you can find space to do some introspection, some reflection, and ask yourself, what is the truth of this situation? What is the actual factual truth when it's separated from the fear-based belief? Then you can start to make your choices and decisions on the facts only. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Okay. So just going back to what I asked you at the beginning is if we could make this a really, really powerful conversation, where would you like to focus? And you started to tell me about your bottles, which I think are amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Definitely needs to be shared and broadcast. Absolutely love that. And then you have somebody in your circle who's causing you a little bit of anxiety and doubt, and this belief's getting triggered. What can I help you with the most today?
Just having that confidence again to, I am really working on letting that go, and I have better days than others, just depending on what's going on. So I suppose it is just having that confidence in me and not being bothered about what anybody else thinks, as recognizing that what I have to offer for some is could really support them in a big way, like I know it supports me. So recognizing what I have to offer, recognizing that what I can offer could help somebody in a big way, and not be bothered by what others may do, say or think.
When you were younger, did you always try and people please your parents, try and keep balance? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, always. Still do. Still do.
Yes, but you're doing it now. You're trying to people please. It's an absolute impossible task. Impossible. And you might as well handcuff and put a chain over your mouth. If you have the thing of having to please everybody, I know from experience like how much energy it takes and how much sabotaging it causes in your own life. You have to own your worth. Now, me saying you have to, it's only because I've had to understand that about myself when I've been trying to please, and the only person I wasn't pleasing was myself. You dismantle yourself, you dismantle what you've got to offer, you dismantle your energy, you can even get to the point where you dismantle your purpose, because it becomes that much hard work. Sometimes you can just forget it. It's just too much. And that's because the way that we're scattering our energies, trying to please everybody, when fundamentally, for your business to be successful, it has to come from your heart, your energy, your soul's purpose.
Yes.
But what sounds like you're doing is you're not allowing yourself to be actually probably listen to that. So listening and speaking, they're all connected.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I agree totally. Yeah.
So if you were to let your soul speak and it was pushing you in the direction that you want to take your business, what would it say? Like, what is its purpose? Why does it want to do this? For what reason is it driving you forward? Who does it want to help and why?
I want to be able to offer something that can support people in the way that I've been supported by crystals and meditation and the universe, and I want to be able to share that with people quite simply and reach far and wide. Obviously through my holistic therapies I can't reach as many people, but the reason for the bottles and the crystals and all that was to be able to share that healing, to help people in the way that I've been helped. I know it's still an ongoing process, obviously, but we're always thinking ongoing process, aren't we? So it is, I want to help as many people as I can. And yeah, I do. I want to help as many people as I can, to offer them support in some way, even if it's just a tiny little bit, because that's what I think I'm here for, to support and help people to recognise that there is something else that they can bring that will help them on their path. See, I'm always too scared to say the right words, because I think it sounds a little bit out there.
Well, I've just used the pendulum on you, so we can both be out there together. You know,
I start speaking. I start to write an Instagram post, and I'm like, oh, delete. People are going to think I'm mad. So there's always something there in the back of my mind. Why can't I just say what I am feeling? Because I just think somebody's going to put a horrible comment, or someone's going to see it and think, oh, she's crazy. But then really I shouldn't be bothered about that person that thinks I'm crazy, because there'll be a lot more people that think, wow. And I know there are, because I go out to events, and people love what I'm offering, and they know that it's so much more than just a bottle or a product. As I say, it's always so much more than just that. It is a tool to help, to support them, but something just, I don't know, it's that judgment again, I suppose, that comes into it. I'm fine when I'm speaking face to face with somebody. I can talk to some people that have come to me. I'm absolutely fine. I will speak from the heart. But writing it down and put, it's just a totally different matter, because I don't know who's going to see it and what they're going to think.
And is that something you feel is urgent for you to do, or?
I think I feel that to reach more people, that I'm being encouraged to maybe look at that. So maybe it's not the right time to do that. Maybe that's what it's telling me. If I look at it that way, maybe I think I've been, again, you get railroaded into a certain way of being. You've got to be on social media, you've got to do this. Maybe I just need to step back from it all and reevaluate what it is that the best way for me and to reach people.
How does that feel?
That feels better, that I've actually said, well, is it the right thing to do? Because I think I have just been like, yeah, social media. And it's, sometimes I just look and I just think, oh, not today. So then I just leave it. But then I batter myself that you should have posted there. You should be out there. You should be putting this. Look what they're doing. Look how many likes they've got. Look how many this there. So again, comparing myself to others.
You're judging yourself, and we do that. Yeah, that's what social media does to us. But it's just a crazy world. And one of the things is to tune into your own energy. If it doesn't feel right and you're having to force yourself to do something, you can ask yourself, look, if I do this, what might be the outcome? And is that outcome worth me pushing myself towards it? That's definitely something that you can ask yourself. And you can also ask yourself, well, how well am I? You know, the funny thing is, you're healing people with your voice. The crystal and the water is a tool, it's a product. But the way that they'll connect with that, I feel, is through the meditation and through the energy that you've brought to that, which is using the voice.
Yes.
So it's about your communication. Now, if you can go to people and stand up in an event and do public speaking and that kind of thing, wow, hat off to you, because, you know, you are a very good communicator. There's just a part of you that feels they're not in control when they are putting their stuff out there, because we are very vulnerable. when we're posting on social media and we don't have that target audience and it's just going out and our friends and family will see it and whoever else, it's a very vulnerable world, and I totally agree, and it can mess with your energy. And I'm just saying, see how it fits inside when we leave this conversation about the reality of the best way forward for you. Never mind the shoulds, you know, but the actual factual reality slowly but surely catches the monkey, if that's the right saying. The more people, face to face, whatever, you can talk to, that word will spread and spread. And it might be that you get invitations to come and hold events, so you start running your own, and that grows, and you don't ever have to go on social media. I don't know. Or you might decide to start your own YouTube channel and you just are filtering through the people who are typing in the stuff that you are talking about. You're creating a community and a tribe that you might feel more comfortable being open with.
Yeah, that's definitely, it's resonating with me totally. When that makes so much more sense. It does feel better.
So tell me how the crystals have helped you.
Okay. So going back 13 years, I had a miscarriage, and then obviously bed in a very low place. Started to just look for something, needed something, and a friend gave me a crystal, and it was a rose quartz, and it was a bit like, oh gosh, there's something in this. And then you just keep that with you and stuff. And then I found Reiki as well, because I needed that deeper healing. So I found Reiki, went to have a Reiki attunement, because the lady that I had Reiki from said it would really do you good to self-heal and all of this. Okay, then I hadn't heard of energy healing really before that, and so that really changed things for me. It was a very long, slow process, just using crystals, not really knowing about them, but just knowing that when I held a crystal, it helped help me. And then I was attuned, like I said, I was attuned to Reiki, just used that on myself for 8 years, never really did anything with it. But then my dad became quite ill, and I decided I wanted to be able to send him healing. So on that time then I went to be attuned to level 2 so that I could send him healing. I was collecting more crystals over that time, and obviously he had loads of crystals given to him, and I was able to send him Reiki, help him in that way. He passed away quite quickly. And then I had this huge push within myself to go and do my master Reiki and set up a business part-time. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that from home, and then the crystal side just grew because I did a crystal healing course, and then people were asking me about crystals. Where do I get them from? Well, where we live there's no crystal shops. Started selling a few, and then over the year or so, I was led to look at drinking the energies of crystals. Obviously been around for millenniums, so it's like, okay then, right, okay, so started doing that, putting a crystal in a bottle, in a glass and whatever. But then it's like, well, when I go out I can't have that crystal energy with me, so you start looking for crystal bottles, and then a few would come up and like, oh no, I don't really like them, I want to be able to personalize it. So then I spoke to my husband and said, can't we just go and find some? So we did our research, and we found the bottles, and they were like, yes, you get them with the crystals. I said, no, I don't want them with the crystals, I want to be able to put my own crystals in, because I want to Reiki charge them, I want to set intent with them, I want to choose where the crystals come from, what crystals go in. So that was just over a year ago, and we are where we are now a year later, knowing that I use the crystals with my clients in the meditations that we do, because I run guided meditation sessions where we work with crystal energy, and people say that having the crystals there for them just helps them so much to focus and bring that energy in. It's just a deeper connection, helping them to connect to their energies and their breath, and but also bring the energies of the crystals. So it's all of that. I just know it just helps people so much from the feedback that I get on face to face, and you know, I just want to be able to share that more with people, really.
Yeah, so that's amazing, and I think what you're doing, you're so passionate about it, and I just feel like it's just fantastic that this is what you're doing. So how do you feel when you say you want to get it out there more? There's this kind of like, oh, but you know, there's this frustration with it. Like, how can you change the energy of that? What expectation have you got on yourself that you don't feel you're quite there yet? What's that all about?
It's all, I think it's because I keep telling myself I'm no good on the internet in terms of promoting my website. I've had somebody build the website that, yeah, the background is great, but again, I wanted to put more information. I was told that you put in too much information, cut it down. Don't say so much about yourself, cut it down. So I'm like, oh, okay then. And then somebody's sort of like doing a little bit of work on my Instagram, and so they're sort of like done it, and I'm a bit like, that's okay. It's free, you know, they're just filing things. So I just think, oh, right. Every time I want to say something, it's not the right thing, or people always have to change it. Whereas really, so then it's not saying what I really want it to say. I'm being cut down because I suppose I'm not very succinct in the way that I say things. And I understand that if people are reading a lot of words, they can switch off. But I think for me, my passion comes when I get into the flow, and that's been shortened. So I tell myself that I'm no good on the technology and reaching more people face to face. I'm loads better, because I can just speak from the heart a little bit more than writing down. Just I have difficulty, I think, with that.
That's fine. So at least you know that maybe right at this moment in time, writing is not your best communication style. It has to be through the voice, because that's where your energy is coming from, and that's your kind of chord to connect with people. How do you feel doing videos?
I do them in small select secret groups. I'm again, that thing about posting it out there to the wider scares me.
Okay, so push the things that doesn't resonate with you, because your energy will tell you the right.
Yes. Yeah.
So but what I'm hearing is you probably, the Facebook page that you've got now, or your private personal Facebook page, wouldn't be the right place for you to feel comfortable sharing.
No.
I understand that. So what I'm just wondering is, but you do videos, you like to connect with people, you know that your channel is through the spoken word, and when you get into the flow, you know that your energy is going to resonate with somebody. Definitely 100% that's true. So how can you start to shift, move away from the things that are putting you off? Down, just put them down, park them, come back to them later with a fresh perspective and a different mind. How can you turn that passion and focus on the right avenue for you to communicate and get this out?
I suppose it's extending on what I call the secret groups, but then inviting people to be a part of that. I do online meditation groups. People pay for that.
Yeah.
But again, I've been doing them now for many months and they're very successful, but like I say, it's a secret group. So I suppose it's extending on those and having the confidence to promote them more widely, not just keep it very small to people that I know, and just be having the confidence to push it out and get more people to join, because if they're paying for it, they're going to only pay for it if they really are interested. So I suppose that is the thing, isn't it, really? Because you can have free groups and get come in. That's what worries me, that somebody might just say something negative about me, I suppose. Because
what would you do if they did?
I would try not let it bother me, but I know that it would, because I would probably dwell on that one negative comment out of all of those, probably all the lovely comments that I have from people and everything. I can let one little negative thing start to take me down.
Which is quite normal. These are interactive cards. They like show us our psyche.
Okay.
So I'm just going to intuitively just pick a couple of cards for you, just so we can see what this energy is.
Okay.
And you will interpret the card, not me. Okay. So we've got two very different cards here. Can you see them? I'll show you that one first.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that okay?
I can't see the bottom. Is there anything? Oh, yes. Right. Okay. Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
So what does that represent to you?
To me, it is that growth, shining your light, and just being the goddess that is within and sharing that. Yeah, that's lovely. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the healer. And what does this?
Oh wow. Okay. Oh right. Okay. Lots going on there. Yeah. So on that wheel there's that scary death card. Very difficult to see exactly. Is there a lot of people there going? To me, that is a bit like running away from all these other things that are maybe trying to stop me or something. Definitely running from something there.
That's interesting, isn't it? Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like a scared child running from his thoughts, his experiences, his fears, his phobias, his memories, his losses. Yeah, and look at what he's wearing on his top. It's like a heart.
Okay. Oh yes, I can see that. Yeah.
And look at all the things that are spiraling off that hamster wheel, like a dog, vaccinations, parents.
Wow.
School. Yeah. It's like he's running round and round his own life, his own mind, his own world, terrified, like doesn't know how to get off the hamster wheel. How does that card resonate with what we've just talked about, with how you feel?
It very does resonate with me, because I think I have got myself into that must do because everybody else is doing, whereas really come from the heart, and then it will all work if you come from the heart. And
isn't that how we feel when we're trying to please everybody?
Yes, yeah, it is very much.
Just on this, what about them? What if I say this, they won't like that? How can the healer woman, which is you, get off that hamster wheel. Like, what is she offering you there? Like, what she's reaching out. She's reaching out with her hand. Like, what is she offering to you in that card, do you think?
She's offering me that time to just reconnect and come back to the heart space and realise what it is that I actually want to share. What I want for me, firstly, and how I want to live, and to share that passion with others, to help them in any way that can be. But really, it is about coming back to me and being at peace with everything that's, you know, maybe happened, and just reconnect with me. And I know that I know I need to do that, and I know I do find that hard because of that other card, that people pleasing card. I will always put an excuse or something that's stopping me from taking that time out for me.
Yeah, of course we will, because that's the fear-based side of us, and that's really, really strong. Our fear limbic system, our fear system, is designed to make us survive in the world. Without it, we would be dead, and that's its job. And when our fear-based system is alive and active, it's always going to prevent you from moving out of your comfort zone. And it's trying to do a job. It's not an enemy. It's trying to help you and keep you safe. How would you feel if the point is you have to make this stronger than that? So tapping into yourself, owning your gifts, owning your power, owning your voice, your purpose, your communication, and your why has to override the doubts and the fears. It's not going to do it all of the time, by the way, and you're going to have days where it's okay to feel like this. It's just snap yourself out of that. Give yourself a time limit. I give myself a whole day and night to be there. 24 hours, and then I know it's done. So put a time limit on the amount of time that you allow yourself to be there. What I find really helpful is if I have a visual representation of the truth of who I am, my purpose, what's really good about me versus what I've been told is really awful about me. For you, it's going to be different.
Yeah,
we've got different things. But for you, you could do, you could even just write it down. All the things I believe about myself, all the shitty beliefs, write it down. I mean, on my list was toxic, damage, bad, poison, all of this. Just got it all out, put it down there. And then next to it, I put all the reasons why this is not true. I'm a good person, I'm a good friend, I'm loyal, I'm a good mum, I'm a good dog owner. All of anything and everything I put down on positive truths about myself, because those beliefs are not true. They're not truths. There's no facts about the. If it was to stand up in a court of law, none of those beliefs are true. So tell yourself what is true about you and visualize it every day. Eventually rub out that negative thing and just have your purpose, your why right in front of you. And it might be that you gather things. I mean, another client of mine, she drew the archetype of the person that she wants to become, a superwoman. And she drew that archetype, and she drew the opposite of that, which was the girl who does too much, and it was like a school teacher archetype. So she can judge, where am I today? Who am I being? Am I being superwoman, or am I being the headmistress, judging herself? Anything visual might help you just to tune into that energy more and more.
That makes sense, definitely. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. I will do that.
I just feel, because we're going to end it in a sec, if you just step into that healer energy, which is you, give yourself the time and the space to step back. Ask yourself whose life this is, who's in control, who's judging you really, and give yourself the space to decide what is right for you. And it doesn't have to happen tomorrow or next week. It can happen as quickly or as you want it to. But it just feels like you need to give yourself that space to connect with you, like you connect with everybody else, connect with you, and then put your message out there in full force.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Is there anything you'd like to end the session on?
No, I think it's totally everything there. I've always known that this is my weakness, and it's just been spot on, really. So thank you very much for just reinforcing that, and giving me those tips there to really make me think about how I can share it in a different way.
And I know that you'll find the way forward. I just know that you will, because it's your purpose and your passion that we're dealing with. It's not just an idea or something.
No,
it's definitely coming from your spirit, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
What I'll do is I'll take pictures of those cards and I'll email them to you.
Thank you.
And then just do what you like with that energy. Just play with it. But I'm also going to send you a tapping point as well, which I'll tune into later, and I'll find the affirmation and the tapping point that'll help just to shift this that's in the throat. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely to talk with you and meet you actually in person. Take care. I'll be in touch.
Take care. Okay, thank you.